I've been thinking about what to give you for Christmas. I wanted to give you something that was meaningful this year. I know things are not as good as you probably think they could be. And I wanted you to know that what we think about creates our world. You know how people always talk about how they're going to get in a car accident? And then what happens? They get in a car accident. Everything that people think about eventually happens to them in their life. So it's good to think of only good things. Sometimes bad thoughts come into our mind, but I've learned to kind of tone those things out. Whenever a bad thought comes to me, I just say, thank you for coming, but you know what? I'm only going to think good thoughts now. I find myself going through the day repeatedly saying, I am grateful. Grateful I am. And I just keep saying it over and over again whenever my mind starts talking about stuff that might be bad. I just say, I am grateful. Grateful I am. And I think about a time that I was really, really happy. It might be maybe the time that we were all together at Christmas. Or it might be when I had a really good birthday. It's some memory that I have. Anything that makes me feel happy, that's what I think about whenever I start feeling bad. So maybe if you can think of one time, just one time, when you felt really, really good. Whenever bad thoughts start coming or you start thinking that you're angry or you're afraid, think about that one time when you felt really, really good and bring that memory back and keep bringing that memory back. Because what we think about comes to us. If we think bad thoughts all the time, that's what comes to us. If we think negative things all the time, that's what comes to us. If we think we're going to be sick, we're going to be sick. A few years ago, I used to take 12 different medications. I used to take handfuls of pills a day. Every day. I took pills around the clock. I had so many conditions. I had 3 incurable conditions. The doctors told me in 2004 that if I didn't have surgery on my back, I was going to be paralyzed for the rest of my life. And then I went to see my gynecologist, and he sent me to go get a mammogram. And they told me, well, the doctor told me that I had a lump on my breast, and he wanted me to have a mammogram. And he gave me the prescription. And I looked at the prescription after I left the doctor's office, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to believe these doctors anymore, because every time I go to the doctor, they either give me another pill or they send me to another doctor. And somebody always finds something wrong. And I figured there had to be a better way. And that's when I found the science of mind. That's when I started believing that what I thought about made my world. And so I started doing prayers. I started talking about how good my body was. And I also started looking at things like my drinking. And I had already stopped smoking. So I stopped drinking. And I stopped being negative. And I stopped watching TV. And I started reading books that helped me. And I started listening to music. And it's funny, now when I look back on it, I remember a time I heard me in my head, and he told me to go through all my music. He had me copy a lot of his CDs, and I copied a lot of the songs about how he felt when he passed. Well, he had me go through all those songs, and he had me break all the CDs and get rid of all the songs that were negative. Anything that was negative, he had me break and throw away. And I didn't understand why, because I liked some of the songs. But he told me to get rid of them. And because he was on the other side, and I couldn't see him physically, but I could hear him in my head, I listened to him. And now I know why. I know why he had me get rid of all those songs with those negative words. Because what we think about is what comes to us. He had me keep only the words with the positive songs. And then he had me make a new memorial CD. And that was the last one I gave to everyone. And it only had positive songs on it. Songs about how there was life after death. Songs about how there was a peace inside us all that helped us carry on. And that peace, it's right in the middle of our heart. It's a little spark, like a spark that comes off a sparkler. It's that God spark. We are part of God, and we are unlimited. We can do anything. It's just what we think about. And yeah, it takes time. It's taken me a number of years to get to where I am. But I don't have those 3 incurable conditions. I had x-rays taken where I had osteoporosis throughout my entire body. It started from my shoulders all the way down to my toes. The x-rays showed that I had osteoarthritis throughout everywhere. I was taking Celebrex twice a day, just to try and keep the pain away. And taking the Celebrex created stomach troubles, so then I had to take Prevacid to help with the stomach. And it was one thing after another. And I got to that point where I realized that, I'm going to start watching everything I put in my mouth. I'm going to start watching everything that I read. I'm going to start watching everything that I think about. And I'm going to stop watching TV. I'm going to stop being around people that are angry. I'm not going to let anybody make me afraid. And I did so many things to change my life. And now, I got to tell you, I got to be honest with you. I haven't seen a doctor in more than 2 years. Probably, more than 2 years. I can't even remember the last time I saw a doctor. I don't even have health insurance. I don't take any pills. I don't need them. Every once in a while I get a little bit of a headache. But again, I got to tell you something that's probably going to surprise you, but there are new energies coming in right now. And they're changing us. They're helping our bodies. These new energies make us get aches and pains. And some people don't know that there are new energies that are coming in that are changing us. But that's what's happening. All these solar flares with the sun, they're helping us. They're helping our bodies to adapt. And everyone that's going to be negative and everyone that's going to be fearful, they're not going to make it. I'm sorry to tell you that, but it's true. So if you want to make it, if you want to change, be more positive. Think better thoughts. Stop feeding into the fear. Don't let people make you be afraid. I don't know what your path is. I think as souls, we all make contracts and we all decide to learn certain things. And we all decide to do certain things before we leave this body. So, I don't know exactly what it is you've came to do, but I know that you all came in to teach us unconditional love. And I love you all, no matter what you do. There's absolutely nothing that you could do. There's absolutely nothing you could do that could make me not love you. You've taught me how to love unconditionally, and I am so grateful for that. Thank you so very much. But I have to tell you all, if there's negative thoughts, and if there's fear, it's going to bring you down. It's up to you to decide what it is you want to do. I can only show you how life can get better by doing different things. And I think that that's what my contract was, to show everybody that there is a better way. I love you all very much, and I think of you all the time. But I have to do my work. I can't help individual people all the time because they don't help themselves. You have to help yourself. You have to stop feeding negative thoughts into your head. You have to stop being afraid. You have to stop thinking we're separate. We're a part of each other. Not just our family. Everybody. It's like we're in a big bowl of soup. We're in a big bowl of soup, and somebody might be a carrot, and somebody might be a piece of celery, somebody might be a piece of chicken. But we're all in the same chicken broth. We're all in the same soup. I don't know how else to explain it. Maybe like we're all a part of the ocean. You know how when a wave comes up on the shore, it's water from the ocean, and it goes up on the shore and it leaves the ocean. And then the sun comes out and it rises into steam and it goes up into the sky, and then it rains back down and it goes back into the ocean. Well, that's what we are. We're like a drop of water in the ocean. We're all a part of one another. And it doesn't matter if we're black or white or Chinese or Iranian. No matter what we are, we're all a part of each other. And I know this might be difficult for you to understand, but we are part of one big thing. And that big thing is all about love. We're just here playing a game. We wanted to see what it was like to be human, to be in a physical body, to have all kinds of different experiences. Because when we're not here, we're in a state of love all the time. We're in a state of unconditional love, loving everything and everyone all the time. And that's what it's going back to. That's what we're beginning to remember. I love you all. I know you're having the life that you chose to have as a soul. But if it's not a good life right now, think about changing it. Think about becoming more positive. And always remember, I'll always be a part of you, and you'll always be a part of me. And what I do affects you, and what you do affects me, and what I do affects the whole world, and what you do affects the whole world. I love you. Merry Christmas.